Hey everybody, welcome to my week one recap video of being on tea. I'm Eli and I'm just documenting my gender exploration, transition, whatever ends up happening. It's just always good to have a record because can't go back and do it again. So anyway, yeah, I am officially 8 days on tea. I started last Thursday. I've been doing daily gel, um, and I am shocked by the amount of stuff I have felt this week. Granted, my family has been a little bit sick. My partner had this like weird cold last week that totally messed up his voice. And I was like, this is really ironic because if I get this cold, it's going to like totally throw off my assessment of what's tea, what's the cold. So far, I haven't gotten the cold to the extent that he did. But my child also has the cold now. It's like a nasty cough. Anyway, I have to assume I'm sick to some degree, or at least was sick or something, because I just don't think there's any way that the two people who I cohabit with could be this sick and I wouldn't get it. And so, let's all keep that in mind. That being said, I felt like I started to feel stuff literally day one, which, could be placebo, could be whatever, but for real, like I feel stuff. So my throat has been kind of funky all week. It tends to feel a little bit more hoarse and tight in the morning and then kind of fade. And that would make sense with the gel because with the gel, I apply it in the morning and you kind of have the day to absorb, but then also kind of re-drop those T levels. And one reason why I did the gel is because I do feel like my body has strong reactions to my own natural hormones and hormones that I have taken via pills and stuff. And uh, the doctor and I decided that, with the shot, you kind of get that big dose once a week, and then you're kind of depleting for the rest of the week. With the gel, you get the smaller dose every day. So for someone who's kind of sensitive to the rises and falls of those hormones, we thought that the gel would be a little bit less roller coastery for me. Sorry to digress. Apart from my throat feeling tight, um, I have felt minor headaches, not headaches like I was getting kind of hormonal headaches that I felt like I was getting with like my cycle in the past few months that were like almost debilitating, where I felt like I needed to go lay down in a dark room because my head was throbbing and I would take ibuprofen and it just didn't feel like anything was happening with that. Those were kind of what I would call, like daily life impacting level quality, where it's like I felt like I had to go through with my daily life, but I didn't really want to because my head hurt so bad. These headaches that I have been having this week have been much more mild, but also more consistent. So kind of every day, I'm really trying to hydrate. Oh, it's so hard. I live in a very dry climate and I exercise, and I feel like no matter how much I drink, primarily water, I don't do any caffeine. I do like a protein smoothie. Primarily it's water, tea, and sometimes decaf coffee. No matter how much I drink, I just can't be hydrated. If I drink a ton, I just have to pee a ton and it all like passes right through me. Very frustrating. Um, I've also been trying to improve my diet recently because I know that can contribute to things like hormonal headaches. Well, I don't know. I suspect I have some experience messing with this stuff for myself in the past, and it has proven that if my diet is a little bit cleaner, I have less intense reactions to shifting hormones. Throat, head, apart from the headaches, my head feels very light and kind of airy. The first day, I swear I felt like I was high, and I've never even done drugs. I don't really know what it feels like to be high. But I was assuming like, oh, this is kind of what it feels like. It was almost like a half drunk feeling. And uh, yeah, so there's like, I guess there is that calmness. People talk about like a calmness. Um, I think I have that. I also still have, I'm not just an overthinker. So I just still have a lot of like internal rolling thoughts of like, do I like this? Do I not? Do I like this? Do I not? So there's still that going on in the back of my head. So it's not like a total placid sea, but I definitely feel like my brain feels different, and it's just going to take a little bit of time to decide whether it's a different good or a different bad. And then bottom growth is already happening. So, apart from those things, physically, I've just been tired, but that could be illness, that could be life. Like, I'm always tired in life. We have a small kid, I exercise, that's nothing new. Um, I think the throat, the head, and then the bottom growth are the stuff that I can for sure say something is already happening. And that's just kind of crazy because I really didn't expect to feel anything. I know people, I've looked online a lot, I read a lot of other people's like experiences of going on tea. Some people don't feel things for 3 months. Some people feel things right away. Who knows why anyone is different? People are like, oh, gel is slower. Is it? Because like I don't know. I did have this suspicion when I started tea that if I don't know, I've been a little, on the fence of like, do I need this? Do I not? Let's experiment and see what happens. And I was like, I feel like I'm going to drink it up like the water of life or something. I'm just going to my body is going to absorb it hard and fast. And like, I don't know why I had that suspicion. My trans experience, it's unique. Everyone's is unique. It doesn't mirror the typical media presented trans experience, which I would say, a lot of people's doesn't. But I have had to do a lot of questioning of like, is this really, not am I trans? I definitely know that, but like, do I want to move forward with, some of this medical transition? Because it's a big deal and a lot of it is irreversible. And in doing research, I got to a point where I decided I just have to try for a little bit and see how it goes. So, like I said, I had this lurking suspicion that, well, here was my lurking suspicion. It was that either I was going to feel terrible, 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 like capital T, awful right away, or I was going to absorb it like nobody's business. And I kind of feel like it's the latter. I do feel like my body is absorbing it like crazy fast. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad that I don't feel terrible. Part of me was scared that I'd feel horrible and just immediately have to abandon and be like, well, that's not for me. Um, the other part of me was scared that this would happen and that I would like it and that the implications that this has for me for the rest of my life. And, you know, no, again, well, it's only been 1 week. So going to continue to monitor, continue to keep my little daily journal where I just write down how the day went, like a couple of sentences. It's very brief. And, see how it goes. I don't have to commit to continuing. Well, really ever. Anybody can stop at any time. There's nothing wrong with that. We also picked a gel, the doctor and I also picked a gel because I was nervous that I would feel very terrible right away. And the doctor said, with the shot, if you do feel really terrible, it's going to take days to wear off, kind of get out of your system a little bit, and then you'll do your next shot. Or if you feel terrible, you won't. And with the gel, I can stop today. I can stop tomorrow, if I need to, if I'm feeling really bad. I'm not, though. I wouldn't say I'm like walking on clouds with how good I feel, because there's still those like low grain headaches. But other than the low grain headaches, I feel pretty good. So anyway, I just wanted to share that update. I will say I'm someone who typically is pretty in touch with my body. I don't, like I said, I don't do caffeine. I don't drink alcohol. I exercise regularly, and I've been a competitive athlete before, like a very competitive athlete. So I'm pretty in tune with my body. I don't have a lot of distractions. I really trust myself to know to feel what I feel. That just makes me makes me think of Frozen. You feel what you feel, and those feelings are real. Sorry, my kid is obsessed with Frozen. Frozen's great, by the way. The sorry to digress again. Anyway, I do feel like I'm in touch with myself. I feel little things in my body frequently, and so I knew I would be in tune with this. Again, I just didn't expect to feel as much as I felt this week. So I haven't noticed my voice changing per se. I do think some of the high notes, there's like this breathiness when I go for like a really high. It feels almost like a void, and like there's just air where there used to be sound. But I can still sing, and I did do a pre-recording of a song, and I'm planning to record again in a month, the same song, just to see where my voice is at singing. Um, so, I guess that's another throat thing. All right, well, this has been my longest video yet by far, and I'm going to wrap it up. I will do another weekly update in a week from today. That will be, oh no, that won't be Thanksgiving. 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. So another week from today, I'll do a longer update. Otherwise, I'll do maybe a vlog here or there. And yeah, just keep documenting this journey. Thanks for watching.